What is going on? You're listening to the April edition of the Relapse Records podcast. What you just heard there was Ecstatic Vision with the Electric Step off of their latest album, Raw Rock Fury. Some really good straight up rock. And also John Frum in there with their track Memory Palace. And their new album is going to be coming out on May 12th. Really looking forward for the release of A Stirring in the Noose. And the thing about this project that I'm super stoked about is just the group of guys it is. You got Matt Hollenberg from John Zorn on guitar, Eli Litwin from Intensis on drums, Derek Ryquist from The Faceless vocals, and then of course Liam Wilson from the Dillinger Escape Plan on bass. Really solid group of guys. And I just really love the concept of the name and how they didn't throw something that sounded cool. They really picked something that had kind of a backstory. I love how it kind of relates to the whole essence of what John Frum was. It was originally a group of people from the South Pacific Islands, and they went under the alias of John Frum to kind of reject European ways and escape oppressive missionaries and kind of go against the old traditions and start anew, which I thought was really, really interesting. We got a lot of cool stuff for you for this month's edition of the podcast. It is the Roadburn Festival special edition, since this is the month of Roadburn Fest. If you really enjoy this is definitely a festival worth looking into for next year. Because every year they have a stacked lineup, always a ton of Relapse bands on there. I got to talk to Walter, who's the founder of the festival, about this year's lineup and what goes into putting together such a festival, and his relationship with Relapse Records, since there's always a handful of Relapse bands, like I mentioned, on the festival every year. And also talked to Wino from the Obsessed. Their last reunion before their latest one was actually on Roadburn Fest back in 2011. But I got to talk about their new record, Sacred, which is out now. And talked everything about touring. He's been hitting the road hard. He's got about a month or two of dates in a row. And he's got like maybe a handful of off days. He's literally playing 9 shows in a row. The dude's a tank. But we got that coming up right now. Wino's such a great guy. He's been around the scene for years now. He's been playing since '76. And he's just been at the forefront of the genre of, the stoner rock scene. And the new album, Sacred, is incredible. Literally, the other day, I was sitting out on my patio, was drinking a beer, and just enjoying the weather, listening to The Obsessed, man. That was such a good record for that kind of vibe. I love when you can take a record and it gives you a certain feeling or fits a certain setting or mood, as is definitely one of them. But we are going to be chatting for a bit, and then he's got a couple tracks off of the new record and a couple old Relapse throwbacks that he wanted on the podcast, so we'll get to those. What is going on, guys? You're listening to the Relapse Records podcast, here with our special guest, Wino of the Obsessed. What's going on, man?
Hey, man, how are you?
Doing good. You have a lot of stuff going on. You're a very, very busy man right now. You're out on the road. Album just came out, so you definitely have a lot going on.
Yeah, we got a lot going on. We did our first show last night. It's the first night of a pretty long one. We're going to be out on the road for 7 weeks with Karma to Burn. And, so far so good. Pittsburgh last night. Had a lot of fun.
I saw the routing for it. You guys don't look like you're slowing down at all. It looks like there was maybe you were playing, it looked like 10 shows in a row without a day off. You guys are hitting the grind this time around.
Yeah, we're hitting pretty hard. I think that all the days off we have are basically drive days. I think we have one day off. We're rolling through Baltimore, but towards the end, and that's about it.
All right, that's good to hear. I see it's great lineup too. How'd the first show go last night?
First show was fun. It was cool. Pittsburgh is always a challenge, but we had a lot of fun.
Right. Now, I wanted to know, because you've been doing this for so long now, how do you approach the live setting now? Because obviously you've played in front of big crowds, you've played in front of smaller crowds. What kind of keeps your mind at a level state to be able to perform for any kind of setting, since you've been in so many different circumstances?
You have to be ready for whatever comes your way, really. I mean, try to be as prepared as possible. Fact that we've all done this ourselves. It's been DIY so long. I mean, we try to be. I mean, we're pretty much we work on our own stuff, and if we have problems, like last night, for example, we had a myriad of problems.
Uh-oh.
And which we managed to solve ourselves. It's like taking amplifiers apart real quick. I mean, if we got to rip one out of the chassis and set it up there, just make it, we will do that,
For sure.
Of course, we don't want to have to do that. I mean, I would say that the one thing that we have learned is that the earlier you get to the venue and be able to set up and check it out, the better. And it's always good to be prepared, man. You got your flashlights, got your some spare fuses. You know what I mean?
For sure. But obviously all of this touring is behind the new album you put out, Sacred, which has been doing pretty well so far. So I wanted to get a lot of background in this because it's very interesting. It's the first one you've put out since 1994, which is when I was born, just to make you feel old there for a second. But but obviously this is a big thing for you. A lot of people were looking forward to it. I actually was out on my patio the other day drinking a few beers, listening to the album, enjoying the warm weather we've been having. So I'm definitely digging it. But give me a little bit of background on what you wanted to accomplish with this album, especially since it's been, 20 plus years since you put one out under the Obsessed name.
Right. Well, when me and Brian got together, that's Brian Casino, our drummer. Then it kind of came about sort of a little bit by accident, but we had kind of a magic jam one day, and then we kind of realized that that's kind of what really made me realize that I wanted to keep doing it. These songs, the older songs were kind of timeless. And we had an opportunity to go to a really amazing, into a really good studio with this guy, Frank Marchand. He runs our live sound too.
Okay.
Once we met Frank, he has an amazing command of the digital world. He has an amazing studio. He likes to mix loud in an open room, but he also has a vast array of vintage stuff. So we had the best of both worlds, which was really nice. When we actually recorded it, we had to dig pretty deep, man. 14 songs, we had to dig pretty deep, and that's why, first order of business was to re-record Sot and Jackal, which was our single from the 80s.
Right.
Yeah, I never thought that was produced very well, and I can still remember the day somebody goes, "Hey, man, they reviewed your single in Kerrang! It's in the 80s." And I was like, I said, "Yeah," and I was all excited, and he looked at me kind of weird, like I didn't really read what he was trying to say, like it was going to be a bad review, so I raced down there, grabbed it off the stands, and it was a terrible review. But, bottom line is, I know the guy who wrote the article, Malcolm Doom, but, now I know him, we're friends, but, hey, man, it was produced like crap. So that was the first order of business, was to make that song, to do that, to give that song, to record that song with justice. So we did, and then one of the songs that you're going to play today is Cold Blood. That's actually a very old song. I wrote that song when I was like 18 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we and then the covers we chose are just covers that we've always loved. I mean, Crossroader by Mountain, and then the Thin Lizzy cover, I mean, man, it's like I didn't even know that song existed until about a year ago, but when I heard that song, I was like, man, that's right up our alley. So we had a good time. We had a fun time in the studio. We had a good team in place.
For sure. So it seems like there wasn't too much of writing necessarily, because a lot of it seems like it was already done previously, and
no, that's really not true at all. Actually,
okay.
We only had about half the record written.
Okay.
And we put a lot of pressure on ourselves actually, because we had to finish quite a few songs. And it's like the lyrics are always the toughest. I mean, writing lyrics. So at any given time, little pieces of paper strewn around the mic stand and stuff, and so there was definitely there was moments, but Brian made a few good suggestions and sang some stuff on there. He wrote the tail end to that song Punk Crusher, and then he also made a couple good lyrical suggestions for rounding up Stranger Things, and then Frank Marchand, the engineer, and his assistant Rob Queen made a couple good suggestions too, and like I say, we managed to pull it off. I mean, I'm really proud of the record. I think it's the best sounding record that we've ever done, but,
Definitely. And I've been, obviously, I listened to it through, and I've read a bunch of other places. A lot of people are saying this is your heaviest stuff yet. Would you say that's because of the production previously, how you weren't necessarily happy with it? Was that something you wanted to make it heavier this time around, or is that just kind of how it worked out?
Well, once that I realized that Frank Marchand was the man, and we went in his studio, then I was confident. I was definitely confident. I mean, we pulled out all the stops. I mean, like I said, he's got I was singing. He's recording to state-of-the-art digital stuff, but I was singing it to a $30,000 World War II era tube microphone. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So we really did have the best of both worlds, digital and analog. And we were able to basically pick a snare drum for every tune. Like he had this whole arsenal of vintage snare drums. So like for Be the Night, we want something a bit tighter. We used a Ludwig, a black Ludwig wood snare. We used some brass snares that he had. I mean, basically we fine-tuned the instruments for the song, which I thought was pretty amazing. He's got an orgy of Les Pauls and boxes of vintage pedals. But like I said, he's a little unconventional. He likes to mix in an open room, and he likes to mix pretty loud, and that's what we like too. So, I mean, at the end of every session, he would play us a high def inspirational video of like Humble Pie or Vanilla Fudge or something like that.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
For sure. And then obviously this is your first release too with Relapse, which is always a cool thing to have you on a label like that. So what kind of got you hooked up with us actually?
Well, it was one of your ex-employees. He's the manager of Pentagram, Sean Pelletier, or Pellet as he's called. And he basically, he believes he's a music fan first of all, and he told me, well, there's a new guard in Relapse, and he said you've got some fans there, and he goes, they made you a nice offer, and so we through him we go. He was one of the main ingredients, but they gave us a really nice deal, and we were all about it,
For sure. And now,
and so far everything has been really nice. I mean, everything that I think that everything that we have been told would happen is happening in a good way. And then, I'm super happy. We're super happy.
Definitely. Now, how do you feel that obviously the band has done stints, a couple times over the years, and there always seems to be that draw, obviously to continue to put out music under this name, even though you've been away for so long. So how does that make you feel to know that, you haven't had this, new music hasn't come out in quite some time, you've done some shows here and there, but there's still that, the fan reaction that wants to get more from this project?
Well, I think even though, that I did the St. Vitus stuff, I mean, basically after this, Spirit Caravan and the Hidden Hand, I mainly just did Vitus, did St.
Right.
Vitus where I was just singing. And a lot of people, expressed to me the interest that they loved Vitus, but they wanted to hear more guitar. And, I want to play more guitar. I mean, there was a confluence of events that happened that the Vitus guys chose to move forward with their original singer, and I think that gave me the opportunity to grab the reins and and do what we're doing right now. And so I'm looking at everything as a blessing, and I'm looking at everything in the way it needs to be handled. I think. I mean, really, it's all about just the music is just about the passion. It's just about passion. It's about spirit, it's about hope. I mean, even though we are technically a doom band, and I know that the music usually runs pretty dark. I mean, I've always been drawn to the darker stuff. Whether it's been Sabbath, Joy Division. My favorite punk rock bands are like bands where they had like some low end happening, like Discharge or SSC Control. So I mean, I've always been drawn to the more melancholy, heavier stuff, and I think in this world, that strikes a chord with some people.
Definitely. And I find it very interesting too that you've had this band, for quite some time, and you've done, a couple of reunions, you put out a couple of records, and it seems like every time there's a different lineup, and at some point you're the sole original member. So what would you consider the dynamic of this band then, if it's under this name, but it's would you call it, I guess, your project?
Well, I'm more. I really like to be more of a team player.
Right.
I really do. I mean, I like to be a wheel in the machine, but I understand that it is about my tunes and stuff. But basically, I think that this lineup right now is I think is where I really want to be. I think it's the strongest yet. We tried a few things. Dave Sherman played on the record. He did an amazing job. He's a good guy. For one reason or another, we parted ways, and then tried a little experiment with 4-piece, and that didn't work either. So when we called Reed, and being the road warrior he is, he came out, and like I tell you what, this is to me, this is the most powerful and in my opinion, the final lineup of Obsessed. So this is we got a rock band here.
For sure, for sure. So would you say this is something that moving forward you would want to keep doing and have this group of guys maybe put out more music in the future and keep it going instead of, doing this stint and then maybe going back to other projects and then maybe coming back to this a few years later?
This is what I want to focus on. This is what we all want to do. I think that this is going to be the one. And also, we already have some new stuff. We've already recorded a new song. Actually, we played it for the Relapse cats at a record releasing party.
Okay.
So we're already writing new stuff with Reed, and we're going into it, man, for the long run.
Awesome. That's good to hear, of course.
Yep. I mean, I can't really focus on anything else. I mean, I might play acoustic guitar here and there to fill in the gaps in between tours, but I mean, this is really what I want to do. So.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And then I think it's awesome, too, because actually we're also doing a Roadburn special for this edition of the podcast. And the last time you guys reunited was in 2011 for Roadburn. So tell me a little bit about that experience and how that kind of came together and your experience with Roadburn.
Well, I've done several Roadburns, actually. I've done Roadburn with Spirit Caravan, The Hidden Hand,
right,
Shrine Builder, the Obsessed Reunion, and played their acoustic with me and Connie. But you know what I mean. I'm ready for the next one with this band.
Yeah, of course.
that'll be the achievement then. When we get back over there with this lineup, I think that's going to be the shit.
For sure. Hopefully, very, very soon.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. But what's the touring schedule from here going forward? Obviously, you're out on the road right now, hitting it really hard for about, I think it's the next month or so. And then where do we see you the rest of the year?
Well, we're looking at doing U.S. coast to coast as we're doing right now, 7 weeks or so, 6 or 7 weeks, and then we are going to the U.K. And then after the U.K., we are hoping to get back into Europe. If it's still too early for the trip that exists, then we are planning on maybe doing Australia, and South America. But Europe is definitely with the United States first, and Europe is a target. We'll see. We're going to see what happens. I mean, it's not going to be that much longer before we get a chance to get back over there. So maybe we'll do Roadburn next year.
Definitely. Okay, that's good to hear. So obviously you've been doing this for a long, long time. You've been playing since '76, so it's been over 40 years now. So what is it that keeps you going and passionate about what you do? Because obviously the industry is the industry. You see a lot of people come in, a lot of people come out, trends go up and down. What is it that keeps you trucking forward?
Well, this is really what I do. I mean, even though that I've done a lot of other stuff, you never really have time to learn to trade or nothing because you've always got to pick up and go.
Right.
But usually, I've worked on construction. I worked in an ice house. I've worked at record places and all that kind of stuff. But the bottom line is you always got to pick up and go. So this is what we do. And this is what I'm committed to doing. It is a commitment. I wouldn't recommend it for somebody that has a fantastic job. And it's always hard to leave the family. That's probably the hardest part. But you know what I mean? It's always just about commitment, man. It really is. I mean, and I understand that people that got to pay notes on houses and that kind of stuff, I mean, they can't go out forever and ever, and I understand that. So the way I look at it now with this band and my philosophy is that, we will bring the music out to the people as often as best as we can. And then when we lay back, we'll try to get in the studio.
Definitely. And I know you have kids as well, and I know one of them is really into diving, but have you ever had any interest to show them kind of maybe trying to enter into the music world, or have they shown any interest to maybe pick up instruments, and would you want them to be a part of this, or is this something you're kind of like, find something else to do?
Well, man, that's a good question because, it is a very hard road to hoe, as we know.
Right.
But my older son at 15 is already playing guitar. I mean, his daddy gave him a couple guitars already. But he's playing guitar. He sings in a choir. And he sings like he sang a 1966 song by the Outsiders at this big school thing that I attended just recently. And then, like I said, my daughter, I mean, her favorite artist is Ariana Grande, and and she's 10 years old. I saw her perform at her variety show. And she sang an Ariana Grande song and brought me to tears.
That's awesome.
She's playing pretty good. She's real good. And, of course, my middle son, he's on his way to the Olympics, I think. So So, you know, whether or not I want them to play music full time or not, I don't know. That's a hard call. I would probably have to say, you know, I don't know. It's kind of worrying me a little bit. You know, somebody asked me. They said, you know, what do your kids rebel against? And I was like, that was a hard question because they don't really rebel against anything.
I mean, I guess that's a good thing though for you.
I mean, I don't live right. I don't live with them, but you know, back in their lives, we are in each other's lives, which is really amazing. Managed to patch things up with my ex-wife and that, and so we have kind of a cool family now with her dude and my kids, and it's all great. So, well, for sure. And of course, my daughter, my sons, I wrote for them. That's my little message to them. So that's on the record too. I mean, there's a verse for each kid, and then the chorus is from my daughter.
That's my daughter, my sons, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then now how was, you know, flipping the script when you were growing up? And in your family, were you backed for what you wanted to do, or was this something that you kind of had to step out and be like, you know what, doesn't matter, I'm going to do it anyway, even though no one's really with me on this? And then now seeing it, you know, as you're the parent now, and you're kind of like, I don't know if they should be doing this, and now you can maybe understand it differently.
I joked around with my ex-wife the other day, and I said, well, you know, when he turns 18, I'm going to take him out on the road. She's like, no. But, you know, the bottom line is, you know, I think they, you know, my parents, they stayed together until my father died, which was pretty amazing. But we all had issues, man. We all had issues, you know.
Right.
There was alcohol issues, there was drug issues, or whatever it might be. But the bottom line is, you know, I think that they liked to. I mean, you know, my mother, she'll say, oh, I bought your new record, and I appreciate that. But the bottom line is, it's not what she wanted me to do, I'll tell you that. You know?
Yeah. No, definitely.
But, you know, it's all good. I mean, at this point in time, it is what it is, really.
Right. And now, I mean, you've been, you know, like I said, you've been doing this for so long, and you've crossed paths with so many people, and obviously you know, Sabbath was one of the main reasons why you do what you do, and you've gotten to collaborate with a few of them, but, you know, now they just called it quits, you know, at the beginning of this year. What's your fondest memory of Sabbath?
My fondest memory of Black Sabbath is seeing them in between the Paranoid and the Master Reality tour in 1972.
Wow.
It completely changed my life. I was on my 13th birthday. I can still tell you what Ozzy was wearing, man. You know, he was wearing these thigh-high black boots, red velvet bloomers, and a black and red dashiki.
Wow.
Yeah, that was badass. At my young age, that being that was my second show.
Oh, okay.
My first show was the James Gang with Dominique Troiano on the Straight Shooter record. I missed Joe Walsh, unfortunately, but that was the second show. We went down to Baltimore when the dad took me and the bass player down to Baltimore Civic Center to see him, and I'd never seen anything like it in my life. I was totally convinced that the show would have to be stopped because of how hard they were playing.
Wow.
I mean, there was no doubt in my mind at all that Ward was going to destroy his kit, or the geezer was going to pull the strings right off his bass. I mean, I couldn't even believe it. But you know what? And they were warmed up by Edgar Winter's White Trash, which was also amazing. They had all that loud brass. Rick Derringer playing guitar, and I just remember my father stood up and he goes, "Are you guys ready to go?" After Edgar Winter's White Trash, he thought that was it. And we're like, "Wait, Black Sabbath hadn't even played yet." He just got his look on his face and kind of slunk back down in his seat. And yeah, R.I.P. man. I put him through some shit. So.
That's crazy. So, I mean, it's incredible. You've gotten to work with both Geezer and Ward, and then, you know, you've also, on the flip side, you've worked with everyone else from, like, Rob Halford. You were on Dave Grohl's Probot record with, and you were even in the video with the track that he did with Lemmy. So you've been around and worked with some of the, you know, the names that kind of brought this genre to what it is today. So how does it make you feel that you got to be, you know, you got to work with these people, and you yourself are a part of, you know, the history behind this genre?
Well, I'm honored. I'm honored to have that place. You know, I mean, my thing is I don't really dwell on the accolades that much because I really believe that the music can speak. Mm-hmm. But man, you know, I feel very, very honored to be considered a factor, and you know, in the development of our world, our musical world. And I also think that, you know, I have been treated very respectfully by people. My peers and the younger people coming up, and I think that I'm happy to be there. But like I say, I really, my philosophy is that I was given a gift to really to carry the torch, man. And I think that's the music has to talk.
Definitely, definitely. And now, moving forward, if you had an opportunity to work with anyone like that you haven't worked with yet, who would you really want to work with?
I don't know. I love playing with John Paul from Clutch.
Okay.
The Mastodon dudes are cool. I mean, unfortunately we lost Lemmy, and that's a sad thing.
Yeah.
I would definitely, Grohl's great. Everybody that I know, I think is amazing of those caliber people. And, my favorite people to work with right now are Bronco Cestino and Reed Railing.
Okay. Cool. And I also wanted to get your opinion on, because you've been in the industry, so you've seen the changes with the format of music and now the digital age, and you haven't put out an Obsessed record since, the switch to the downloading and streaming. Obviously, you've worked on other projects during that time period, but what is your opinion on where the shift in the industry has gone because of the digital age and, the way just, the music is kind of valued by the fans at this point compared to where it was when you were, starting out? Do you have, a fonder time of the industry earlier on, or do you think where it is now is, maybe not the same, but, at the same time, it's not terrible? Like, what is your opinion on the industry itself?
I think it's markedly better now.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because I think that new bands have a better chance. Obviously, with the internet, the information is so much faster. It's all, But I must say, I've been throwing out some kudos to Frank Kozik and the artist and his label Man's Ruin, because I kind of feel like that helped kind of a vision like that, and the willing to commit your own time and money to something like that is kind of what kickstarted the movement. Acid King, High on Fire, Queen of the Stone Age. So, but I think that with the advent of the internet, it really changed everything, and I'm happy. I'm happy for that. I mean, I can tell you that when I was on Columbia Records, getting cents on the dollar to every record we did, and then we did our video for Street Side. We had to pass the Beavis and Butthead test. If you didn't pass the Beavis and Butthead test, your video just didn't play no more. And that's what happened.
Yeah.
One of them said, "Wow, these guys look old," and that was it. I don't think I ever saw that video again until fucking 10 years later.
I like that.
I think it's changed markedly. I think that the younger guard came up, grabbed the reins at the labels, showed them what's up, and they either play ball or die, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You either have it or you don't.
That's right.
So you're a fan of like how music is or switching from the industry to just, I guess, how music is consumed, but are you a fan of like how it's gone so digital with streaming now and whatnot, or are you still like the old school, you like the vinyl, the CDs?
Well, the thing about it was, I mean, we had being this record on Relapse, I mean, we recorded it in July or June or July. We had to wait till last week before it came out, and I understand there's a big buildup, so when it never leaked until like the very last week it started leaking, and I must say that after all that time of not leaking, I'm happy it didn't leak. I mean, I think it's fine. I know that the publishing industry seems to be a little weird. I mean, I've got my publishing registered, but they always seem to be like, once everything starts to favor the artist, they always seem like they can kind of fuck you. I kind of think that like publishing is kind of like a secret way to kind of fuck the artist. You know what I mean? But that said, I'm all about what the way Relapse has handled this record is I'm completely happy with. I think that this is a label that knows what they're doing. I think they've got a beautiful team in place, and I think we're on the right track in Relapse Records.
For sure. And now, do you think with the way, with the streaming and everything like that, do you think that opens doors to kind of get maybe a younger audience to get to your band? Because obviously, the older audience knows your band, they've been around, they've, listened to your previous stuff when it came out. But obviously, like a guy like me, like I haven't heard too much previously before. Obviously I work for the label, so I got to hear it too beforehand and whatnot. But obviously people more my age may not necessarily be as well versed in some of the bands that, have been around older or are coming up. So do you feel like because of that you can kind of gain a new market? Yeah,
I think so, and I'm happy for that. I mean, I'm all about the streaming thing. I was just I think it was great that I just thought it was cool that it didn't leak. You know what I mean?
For sure.
I thought that it was great. I thought that it was great that when they said, "Hey, it's going to stream on this day," and that's the day it did. I'm all about that, man. I'm really all about just like the same. I was all about taping or trading. I mean, streaming is just like the modern way, and you know, I'm happy to have a younger audience, any audience.
Oh yeah,
audience.
For sure. Now, do you see that at all at shows like where, like now,
yeah,
obviously?
We are starting to see that. We are starting to see that. I'm starting to see that translated to a lot of younger people.
Yeah.
And, yeah, and they always expressed to me the interest that they were happy that they got a chance to see it. So obviously something's working, and yeah, I want to continue to do that.
Well, that's all I got for you. I really do appreciate the time, and I had a great time talking with you. Anything you want to add wrapping up?
Hey, man, I had a great time talking to you, too. That was really, really nice, man. I appreciate everything that everybody's doing, and thanks a lot to everybody for listening to this record.
Of course. We'll have to catch you out on the road. So which 2 songs from the album do you want in it?
On the record, it's called Perseverance, but it's called Perseverance to Futility, and the instrumental Cold Blood. going to go back to I was going to go back pretty far in the Relapse catalog. I was going to ask you if you could play a song by High on Fire off of their record Surrounded by Thieves.
Okay.
It's called Speed Wolf, and I was going to ask you if you could play a song by the band Wake and their record Voices of Omens, and that song is called Crooked Rivers.
Hope you enjoyed my little chat there with Wino and the songs that he picked off of the new record, and also the High on Fire and Wake songs. And also, it's time to get to the other interview now. We went from Wino, who had played Roadburn Festival quite a few times, to the founder of Roadburn Fest. And we're going to be talking to Walter about everything that goes into putting something like this together. What's going on, guys? You're listening to the Relapse Records podcast, here with a very special guest for our special Roadburn edition of the podcast. I'm here with Walter of Roadburn Fest. So what is going on today?
Hi, Nick. We are very busy production-wise and answering last-minute questions from bands and tour managers. Busy with all kinds of like artistic projects for the festival that need to be finished in the next couple of days. It's a bit of a mayhem over here.
For sure, I can imagine. And with such a prestigious and well-known festival, obviously, there's a lot that goes into it to really make sure that it's up to par with how it's been. So what exactly, like you mentioned, you're so close at this point. Now, take me back to when you start to organize a festival like this. Is it kind of like the minute this one ends this year, you're going to start planning for next year?
I'm already for next year, but mostly I'm busy like thinking about next year.
Right.
Trying to get into a artistic, creative vibe for it.
Okay.
And the festival changed so much over the years.
Right.
Like it was like a club, even like a club festival with 2 or 3 bands or 5 bands in the very beginning, and now we have like 110 bands over 4 days, and it's became quite big. So I'm still adjusting year after year.
Right. Did you ever imagine that it would get this big, or was it kind of like something that just kind of grown bigger than you ever thought?
It's grown bigger than I ever thought. It also grew quite naturally.
Okay.
We didn't have a blueprint in the beginning, and we just started to put up like a little festival because Roadburn was a blog way back then, and we wanted to convey the feeling of the blog into a festival, and throughout the years it became more and more insane with more bands, and we grew, and suddenly people from all over the world wanted to be at Roadburn, and now it's this renowned festival.
Yeah.
But I had never had any idea back then that it would be something like this. It just all happened, but very organically and very naturally.
Definitely. And now you are the leading underground festival at this point in Europe with metal and whatnot. Obviously, Europe is very, very well known at this point for having metal festivals. There's quite a few of them. So how does that feel to kind of be the leading underground festival? Obviously, you're very, very well known at this point, and I know a lot of people, like you said, are, it's awesome to see the festival grow at the rate it has, and it's become something bigger than it was ever thought to be.
It scares me like quite a bit, to be honest, because it was never the intention to become so big, and it's of course like I feel very flattered that that people think that Roadburn is so prestigious, but in my head I just want to create a platform where musicians can excel and where like-minded bands and fans and people from the press can actually meet and have a good time, but also have the opportunity to talk with each other and to inspire each other. And suddenly, with the festival becoming so big, there is so much at stake. There are many like record companies, they want to have their bands present, and that's of course not always possible. So I have to make decisions. I make friends with my decisions and enemies too. So it's suddenly, sometimes I have to walk a tightrope, so to say. Right.
So you feel at this point the festival's kind of at a place where it's at a point where you can handle it enough, but if you would kind of want it to stay where it is?
I would love for Roadburn where it's at.
Okay.
It's like I'm very happy with how the festival developed. I'm very happy how people see the festival, but as a human being, and I'm doing everything from my gut, and everything is based on what I think is best or what I feel is best. And if the festival would grow even bigger, then I think I'm not capable as a person to handle it. So for me, this is perfect.
Okay. That makes sense. And I think that also ties into how it's also known as being a very laid-back atmosphere and experience for fans and bands alike. So do you think that kind of ties into how you want the festival ran in the first place, because like you said, you kind of want it to be like this smaller thing, and it's kind of gotten bigger, but yet at the same time it's kind of kept this characteristic of being like a very easygoing, laid back, because some festivals are very high paced, and there's a lot going on, and people are trying to decide what to do and running around. But it seems like with Roadburn there has that aspect of it where it's very just kind of like a chill atmosphere.
That is the core of Roadburn, and that chill atmosphere, like that needs to remain always.
Right.
And I'm afraid I'm afraid if the festival will grow way bigger, that laid back feeling will get lost. And I think the strength of Roadburn is that laid back feel. There are almost no boundaries between staff and bands and attendees. It's like one big family, and that feeling is so important for the festival. And I'm pretty sure that if we would grow into a 10,000 or 20,000 plus capacity festival, that characteristic of the festival will be so lost. And I'm not sure if Roadburn will be special anymore.
Right.
So everything I do is to preserve that laid back feeling.
Definitely. And I know along with the music, there are a lot of other aspects to the festival, with the Roadburn cinema and the art exhibits and all of the after parties and all of that, the daily zine that you guys do as well for the festival. So obviously, other than the music, there's a lot that goes into it as well. So what do you kind of want to put across with all of these other kind of things going on other than just the music itself? Because I know obviously a lot of people, they think of festivals, they go and they see the music, and a lot of people don't necessarily realize that some festivals have these kind of side things, and obviously Roadburn has quite a few, and they're very there's a lot going on that you can do with these exhibits. You could spend almost just as much time at these exhibits as you could watching bands. So what kind of goes into preparing for these other events other than the music itself, and what kind of is the criteria to add these kind of events?
There is not really a criteria. I think the most important thing is Roadburn is a reflection of part of the underground scene.
Right.
I think a part of that scene is that people are very creative, that people are heavily into music, but heavily into art and movies and books and all these kind of things. I think that quite a bit of Roadburn's attendees are artists in their own right, whether it's fine artists or video artists or painters, and with all these people coming together in Tilburg to celebrate the Riff, it's also, I think, very important to put forward several aspects of that underground scene.
Right.
That's what the side program, the exhibits, and all that kind of things come from. I want to have this let's say a family meeting of all these creative people, and that these people that thrive on creativity on many levels, and incorporating that in Roadburn, I think makes the festival very special too. And people crave things like that. It's as you said, there are people that also are being part of the side program and attend the side program besides of seeing the bands. And I'm very happy that it can all come together and that people and bands feel at home in this kind of environment.
Definitely. And obviously with that, obviously the music is a major aspect as well. So how do you go about selecting the lineup? And obviously there's must be a lot that goes into it, obviously coordinating the bands to even see if they can attend on the dates of the festival in the first place, and obviously ranking your headliners and your other stages and whatnot. So what kind of goes into your thought process to put together a lineup? Say, how did this year's lineup come about? Could you kind of maybe give some background on that?
This year's lineup came about pretty hard. it's like every year I have like a pretty good artistic outline what I want the next Roadburn to be.
Okay.
And like for instance, this year I had the idea of like showcasing a little bit more like progressive kind of bands, or bands that I think will be very important for the future of this kind of underground scene. Bands that like are currently making waves and could be the headliners of tomorrow.
Okay.
And as soon as I have an idea what the festival should be, artistically and musically, then I'm going to approach bands and bookers and try to get everything in place. Like the most important thing is to have the curator in place at first, because as soon as I know what the curator is up to, I'm gonna build the rest of the festival around his picks and around his ideas, so that the lineup will be a whole, so that it's not like a hodgepodge of like all kind of like weird kind of things, but there needs to be like it needs to be a well-balanced festival. But with so many like-minded festivals around Roadburn, or heavily inspired festivals by Roadburn, like many others are fishing in the same pond, so it's getting harder by the year to find those exclusive shows, or find the bands that want to do like a special show, or want to be part of Roadburn. So that's quite challenging at the moment.
Right. No, that's definitely understandable. And obviously, being from Relapse Records, we know that you have quite a few bands on it from this year, and obviously over the years there's been a lot of interaction with Relapse Records and Roadburn Festival. So how's that relationship been, and obviously having those bands be a part of, you know, the festival that's, you know, it's grown so well over the past few years?
I think that Relapse Records played a pivotal role in the underground scene, or in the scene that Roadburn reflects. Like a lot of the exciting bands and bands that have become like very influential for like this scene are Relapse bands, and I am like really following the label and try to actually understand which bands you're going to sign, or which bands you have signed, and try to like figure out like, hey, this is a band for the long term, and it proved with so many bands over the years. So like each year there is quite a bit of the Relapse bands playing Roadburn, because they are like such an important part of everything the festival stands for, but also what this underground scene stands for. And I think Relapse Records really shaped this kind of scene like for years and years and years. And as I said, I try to I want Roadburn to reflect the underground, but also I want to give the people that are like a major part of that underground a platform too. So that goes for record companies as well, and I think Relapse is one of the most important labels when it comes to this.
Okay, definitely. And with all of that, there's quite a few bands from the label on it this year. You know, Baroness, Bongzilla, Integrity, King Woman, Unearthly, Trance. There's quite a few. So it's good to see, you know, that tie between the festival and the label, and that many bands. You know, obviously I only named just a few. There's a ton more from the label that are on it for just this year alone. To see that connection is really awesome.
I'm very happy with it, and like with John Baseline being our curator, he definitely goes in a little bit of a different territory for Roadburn, so that's quite exciting. Like we have Integrity, for example. It's like very pleased with that, like also very proud that the Roadburn crowd is so open-minded and fully embrace like a legendary band as Integrity. And like Unearthly Trance was on my radar for many years, and I'm happy the band is back together and now playing Roadburn. But also, like, I'm equally proud of having King Woman, because there's definitely something cooking for that band, and of course, it's just like, how do I say that? It's such an important part to have all these kind of different bands together, and I hope that very fine things come out of it, like with what's going on at Roadburn. Yeah, sorry, I'm a bit tired. I'm working like 15, 16 hours a day for 2 weeks now.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, I can imagine. It's coming down to the wire. Well, because what time is it there?
It's 7:30 p.m.
Oh, okay. Because it's only 1:30 here, so it's still quite early. But I actually just got off the phone, actually maybe an hour before talking with you. I was interviewing Wino of the Obsessed, and I talked to him about Roadburn since they did the reunion in 2011 at Roadburn, and was asking him about his memories of that, and he had a great time, and had, he's been there numerous times now, and said he's very much looking forward to, hopefully in the next upcoming years, to be able to bring the Obsessed back over to the festival.
It's looking forward to like actually see Wino returning to Europe. It's like quite a while since he was here.
Yeah,
I think he has some exciting things going on, and like I see there is a lot of positive feedback about the Obsessed, and I think a lot of European people are craving his return. So like fingers crossed that that's gonna happen.
Yeah, but that would be awesome to see him come back out on Roadburn, because I know he had so many great things to say about it.
Thank you. Very nice to hear. And he's been playing Roadburn for many years.
Oh yeah.
With the Obsessed and Symphytes and Wino, Shrine Builder, and of course he is such a figurehead of this whole scene, and it's so good to see that he is getting back at things.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I don't want to keep you too much longer, because it sounds like you've had a very long and busy day. But I know the weekend passes have been all sold out for this week, so obviously it looks like it's going to be a great festival this year. Is there anything you want to add wrapping up?
We only have a few remaining Sunday tickets, and then the festival, and then the entire festival is sold out. I'm really excited, because Roadburn made a huge leap last year, and now it continues. Like, we have the same amount of attendees this year, and I'm completely flabbergasted that so many people have such a high regard of Roadburn. And again, this is very humbling and inspiring too.
And that was Walter from Roadburn Fest. Hope everyone enjoyed our little chat about the festival. Definitely look into taking a trip out to the next one next year. This year, ton of great bands, especially Relapse bands on there. I'm going to be playing you songs right now from the Relapse bands that are on it this year. I'm going to be starting it off with some Baroness with their song Wanderlust, and then some Integrity in here. They are going to be on there, as well as Bongzilla. I got that in this little block here as well. So let's start off with that Baroness. Here is Wanderlust. And that was Jagged Visions of True Destiny off of the album Humanity is the Devil by Integrity. We got a new album coming out this summer called Howling for the Nightmare Shall Consume. But also we have in that little block there was some Bongzilla with 666 pound Bongsession. Wonder what that's about. I'm not really sure. Also some Baroness in there with Wanderlust. And upcoming, I got a bunch of great Relapse bands that are also on the festival, like I mentioned. We got some Disfear and some True Widow. We got some King Woman in this block as well, which was great to hear Walter say so many great things about King Woman and how, they're one of those up-and-coming bands that we are going to be seeing a lot of in the next, few years. So he wants to give them a great platform to kind of give them the exposure, which is always great to see. I love when, people really back the new younger bands, because obviously at a certain point they're going to be at the forefront. So might as well back them from the beginning and show them that support. Let's start off though. Here is Disfear with their track Live the Storm. That was King Woman with their track Deny off of their latest album, Created in the Image of Suffering. Some really solid stuff. Great new young band. Going to be out on the Roadburn Fest this year. Also some True Widow with OOTPV. And we had some Inner Arma with Violent Constellations. And of course, starting it off with Disfear, Live the Storm. And I'm going to be leaving you with a couple more tracks from bands that are going to be on the Roadburn Fest this year. Going to be starting it off with Author and Punisher and their track Nazarene. They have a bunch of stuff in the works for next year, so really looking forward to their new album in 2018. But yeah, let's leave you off with a couple more of these tracks. So we're going to do Author and Punisher. We got some Pinkish Black with Special Dark, Unearthly Trance with The Great Cauldron, and we're going to end things off today with Lycus with Chasms. I will see you guys next month. Hope you guys enjoyed the jams. Keep it metal. Here we go. Author and Punisher, Nazarene.
Chance